back, everyone. The goal today is to make myself feel stupid and get this car running pretty simply. I've been spending some time going through everything. Got my spark plugs out right now. I got a little bit of fouling, but it's really nothing. They're basically new, so are my wires. Assume the spark isn't the issue unless it was the wiring I did, which I've moved the coil pack connectors back and forth so many times that I don't know if I'm in the right configuration anymore, but that'll be a quick swap. The real problem is our fuel lines. I believe I swapped the high pressure feed for the low pressure return after looking at some pictures, so we fixed that. I think it's gonna fire right up. So go ahead and get these spark plugs, everything connected back up, and then go to our fuel lines. Now, maybe I'll start at fuel lines because I need to give the garage some time to air out after I spill everything, because that high pressure is definitely built up. I don't know how many times I've filmed saying, oh, this will be it, but I think this is the most significant thing I've done. Everything else was little. It'd be like if I had 3 cylinders working and 1 misfire. This would be all 4. We got it jumped. I'm gonna give it a second and then try. Now I've really found it. It's our coil pack wiring, which is another thing that would make a lot of sense. See how I kind of did this? I put this blue wire, supposed to go up in that corner, down here, and then I put the brown yellow up there. It's supposed to be down here. I just have to get below that zip tie, this connector right here. I just gotta swap those 2 around. Then we should be good. All right, this is it. Oh yeah, sick of starts. I gotta drop out the rack a little bit to realign the steering because I want the steering wheel to be straight when I'm trying to test everything out. I have it all loosened except for the 4 bolts that hold the rack onto the subframe. So we're gonna change that right now. We gotta still tighten up on our tie rods on both ends. Then we'll put wheels on, and then we're gonna get this car onto the ground because we're not leaking anywhere. We just have some drips from me spilling coolant. All right, let's keep going. Okay, forgot how low this thing sits after it being up high for so many months. This wheel's pretty straight, but need to adjust this one in a little bit more. So a quick overview of some things I did once the car wasn't running. I checked the fuel lines and saw that one was high pressure, one was low pressure. I didn't look that up soon enough to find out that the one in the back goes to the front, the one in the front goes to the back, because I thought it would go through the regulator that way and then feed to the rail and then return up front, but it feeds there, then hits that. I did have an injector wire switched, which I thought might be something, and well, sure, it needed to be fixed and it's fixed now. I messed with a ground for the coil packs quite a bit. Now I have it mounted up to the block instead of the fireball. I also did it on the frame, thinking the difference in resistance might cause it to not work. I looked over a few other things. I checked my spark plugs, but I was pretty sure it wasn't that because that's all new. And then, of course, it just turns out to be that where I had repinned a harness, I did it wrong, even though I made a diagram. So it's always good to double, triple, and quadruple check everything that you do, especially if it's the first time ever doing it. So we are 100% back together now in the engine bay. I'm just gonna go back down and adjust this tie rod again. All right, first drive. I think I need to lighten the collar on the steering. It's pretty stiff. And it wasn't this bad when I didn't have the pinion welded. We'll fix that. Gotta release a little spring tension. Allow it to move back and forth a little more freely. So yeah, this wouldn't be really drivable. This vacuum blocks are a little loud. A little inconsistent too. I don't know if I hooked those up wrong. I think I got them right. Yeah, our steering is massively heavy. There's no way it would be like that on this car if I didn't do something wrong. So we'll get that sorted. All right. All right, I've loosened up the steering. It's been idling for a while. I'm gonna take it out again, added a little more coolant. Job number 2. Hopefully you stay steady there. Temperature gauge is holding. Oil pressure's good. Let's see how we do. Oh yeah, already. Steering is much better. Oh. There we go. Now that steering's just fine. Turns north straight. When we're going straight. Getting that welded definitely deleted the play in it. thing though, those vacuum controls are loud. Maybe I'll be moving those to the cowl area instead of right here. Alright, let's hit a real road. Here we go. There you go. It's another new day. The car has been running great. To finish out this video, I'm just going to throw this dashboard shell in there. I think I can do it with just steering wheel pops off, undo the brackets I made, and get my cluster detached and then connect it into there. And then I'll just zip tie everything else up and we'll get this looking to a semi-normal car. I can go get emissions done, get the car registered again, be ready to put it back on the road once I complete the other things. Okay, so let's get this dashboard in. Alright, the dash is finally sitting where it's supposed to. It's not secured anywhere. It was a lot more work to leave the bar in there than I expected because I had to remove my steering hub and the clock spring because I couldn't fit around the two stocks. So I had to remove that, loosen the nut, put everything back on so I could pull on the wheel to break it loose from the splines, then undo everything, pull it off, get the dash in. So now we need to mount our dash up and secure everything else. Alright, I got the old steering wheel on, airbag secured, the covers secured. Everything pretty well stashed up in here. Zip ties and Velcro. Still got our connection for our lights. These are for windows. Really all we have left to do is mount up our OBD port, which I think I might try and make a little more accessible for them so they don't have to get all under there. My tombstone that I do have is actually for the NA8 dash, and so it won't fit on here at all. Okay, I managed to basically wedge it to where the cup holders are now sitting above, and so is the switch, and so they're kind of wedged in there. And then I was able to put a screw through the back, the locating dowel. That wasn't like a threaded thing, so it probably split. Overall, if you pull from the bottom, it's still very loose, but it is in there. So that is our NA dash back in. That is the car running. And I'm gonna call it for this video. So thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time.